Stay focused. Stay silent. Stay solid. The marathon continues. Silence is one of the most underrated forms of power. In a world that constantly demands attention, validation, and noise, silence becomes a weapon. It's not weakness, it's control. When you stop trying to prove yourself, when you stop explaining your moves to people who don't understand your vision, you begin to regain your energy, your focus, and your authority over your life. People misunderstand silence because they think it means surrender, but silence is strategy. It's the ability to withhold your words and let your actions carry the message. You don't need to announce every step. Your consistency will tell your story better than your mouth ever could. When you move quietly, you eliminate expectation. You remove the pressure of performance and give yourself the space to grow without judgment or interference. The moment you start talking less and doing more, the world starts to notice differently. They start wondering, they start watching, but they don't know. And that's where your power lies, in the unknown. People can't sabotage what they can't see. They can't doubt what they can't predict. Every plan shared too soon becomes vulnerable to opinions, energy, and resistance that don't belong to you. The wise keep their seeds buried until they're ready to bloom, because that's how you protect the harvest. Every word you speak is energy spent, and if that energy isn't fueling your progress, it's weakening it. Silence sharpens your awareness. When you stop talking, you start listening to your intuition, to your environment, to what's not being said. You begin to move smarter, more intentionally. You begin to act from a place of clarity instead of emotion. Words can cloud your direction because they invite distraction. But when you sit in silence, you find direction. You see who's real around you. You see who checks on you when you stop reaching out, who respects your space, who supports your vision without needing to hear every detail. Silence filters your circle faster than confrontation ever could. It also builds a stronger relationship with yourself. Most people can't handle silence because it forces them to face their own thoughts. But that's exactly where transformation begins, in those quiet moments where it's just you, your ambition, and your truth. That's when you realize how much energy you've been wasting trying to convince others to see what you already know. You start understanding that not everyone deserves access to your plans, your process, or your peace. Silence becomes your shield, protecting what you're building until it's unshakable. There's a reason powerful people rarely speak on what they're doing. They don't need validation because they're too busy creating results. When you move in silence, your achievements become louder. The success hits different when nobody saw it coming. People respect results they didn't expect. They respect the quiet worker who stayed down, stayed focused, and came out on top without saying a word. You don't have to post every move or prove every intention. The best revenge, the best answer, the best statement is success earned in silence. Every time you choose to stay silent instead of arguing, you keep your energy. Every time you choose not to explain yourself, you protect your peace. Every time you choose to work instead of talk, you take another step towards your goals. Silence builds momentum. It makes your actions more meaningful. It teaches you that not everyone deserves an explanation. Not every situation needs a reaction. And not every thought requires expression. The most powerful people are the ones who have learned to control what they share and when they share it. Because in silence, you become unpredictable. And in being unpredictable, you become unstoppable. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it's survival. It's the moment you stop pouring into everyone else's cup while yours stays empty. It's the point where you decide that your energy, your time, your peace, and your purpose deserve to come first. When you shift your focus inward, everything around you starts to change. You stop chasing approval, you stop explaining your journey, and you start listening to the only voice that truly matters, your own. The world teaches you to give constantly, to care what others think, to seek validation from people who barely know themselves. But when you focus on yourself, you realize that the love, the validation, and the strength you were searching for outside were inside you the whole time. When you focus on yourself, you start to see who's really in your corner. The moment you stop being available for every
What do we pay the
conversation,
CDC
every
for?
favor, every drama, some people fall away. It's not because you became cold or distant, it's because they were attached to your availability, not your growth. When you stop feeding the noise, the ones who thrived on your distraction can't survive your silence. And that's how the universe clears your path. It removes people, habits, and environments that don't match your new frequency. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean cutting people off with anger. It means prioritizing peace over attention, progress over popularity, purpose over validation. There comes a time when you have to look at your life and ask, is this helping me become who I'm meant to be? That question alone shifts everything. You start noticing how many hours you waste scrolling, how much energy you give to people who drain you, how often you say yes to things that don't serve your mission. When your focus is divided, your growth slows down. But when it's aligned, when it's fully on your mind, your vision, your discipline, you start seeing progress in every corner of your life. Focusing on yourself realigns your energy with your goals. It puts you in tune with what you truly want instead of what the world tells you to chase. It also teaches you patience. Because when you truly focus on yourself, you stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. You understand that growth takes time, that elevation doesn't happen overnight. You stop looking at what everyone else has and start working on what's meant for you. The focus brings peace because it removes envy. You start celebrating other people's success instead of resenting it because you know your time is coming. You know the universe moves differently when your energy is pure and your effort is consistent. When you start to focus on yourself, you also start healing the parts of you that were neglected for too long. You begin to understand your patterns, your triggers, your weaknesses. You learn to forgive yourself for past mistakes and channel that energy into becoming better, stronger, wiser. Focusing on yourself isn't about isolation, it's about restoration. It's about rebuilding your foundation so that whatever comes next stands strong. People will notice your glow, your peace, your strength, but they won't understand the work you did behind the scenes to get there. That's the power of self focus. And the truth is, once you start focusing on yourself, not everyone will celebrate you. Some will call you distant, selfish, or ashamed. But that's because they were comfortable with the version of you that put them first. The moment you put that same energy into yourself, you become less polluted. You start saying the right things. You start moving different. You stop engaging in meaningless conversation. And that discomfort reveals who's really with you for you and who's only there for what you can give. The ones who belong will adapt. The rest will fade away. That's how life reveals the truth through your focus. Discipline and consistency and solitude are what separate the dreamers from the doers. It's easy to talk about goals. It's easy to get
You was
inspired.
taught to
But it's in
believe
the
the
quiet,
lie to
lonely
become the
hours that your
liar and
commitment is
not know
tested.
that you're
When
lying.
no one's watching, when the
I'm
excitement
sorry.
fades, when the
I
results
used to
haven't
be a
shown up
liar,
yet, that's what discipline
so I
will
know
work.
what a liar is.
Most people only move when they feel
A
motivated.
believer is a
Discipline
liar.
means showing up even
All
when you don't feel
believers
like it.
are liars.
It's doing what needs to be done,
Facts.
regardless of
Why
mood,
do you believe
distraction, or doubt.
if you wasn't taught to
Consistency is what
believe?
compounds your effort into
Why is there
results.
no leave
One day of
in the
focus won't
word
change your life,
believe?
but months and years of
You
showing
tell
up for
me
yourself will.
what's in the
You
middle of the
embrace
word
solitude.
believe.
You learn to build in silence. You stop depending on others to keep you accountable. And you start holding yourself to your own standard. It's in those hours alone,
Facts is
when
until
everyone
you
else is
realize
sleeping,
who's lying to
partying,
who,
or scrolling,
as long as you
that
are a
greatness is
believer,
being shaped.
you'll never know the truth.
Solitude removes the noise. It exposes the truth. It forces you to face yourself, your fears, your habits, your weaknesses, and that's where real strength develops. You can't grow if you're constantly surrounded by distractions and voices pulling you in every direction. Solitude teaches you how to depend on your own energy, your own drive, your own purpose. Discipline and consistency are the roots of mastery. Every person who ever achieved something remarkable learned to fall in love with repetition. They did the same things over and over until it became part of them. They didn't rush the process, they trusted it. That's the hardest part for most people, trusting the process when the results aren't visible yet. But you have to understand that growth is invisible at first. The seeds you plant don't bloom the same day. You water them, you nurture them, you stay patient, and eventually they break through. Discipline is that water, consistency is that nurture. Without them, the seed dies before it even has a chance to bloom. There will be moments where you question yourself, moments where you feel like nothing's moving, moments where your effort feels unnoticed. That's what makes people quit. But that's also where transformation begins. Every time you choose to stay consistent through uncertainty, you strengthen your foundation. Every day you show up, even when it feels pointless, you build resilience. Discipline is the bridge between your intention and your achievement. It's what transforms I want to into I did. Solitude also gives you space to listen to your own rhythm. You stop comparing your progress to anyone else's timeline. You stop measuring success through likes, followers, or validation. You start realizing that everything you need to succeed is already within you. It just requires structure, patience, and faith. That's what consistency teaches you. It's not about intensity, it's about persistence. You don't have to make massive leaps every day. You just have to keep moving forward, even if it's inch by inch, because every inch adds up. Every step compounds. Every moment of self discipline pushes you closer to becoming the
OC.
version of yourself you're destined
OC.
to be. There's beauty in the grind that nobody sees, the long nights, the quiet mornings, the sacrifices you make. Those are the moments that shape your character. That's where real success is built. And when the results finally come, when your work begins to speak for itself, people will call it luck. They'll say you came out of nowhere, but you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck, it was consistency. It was staying disciplined when no one believed in you. It was choosing focus over comfort, growth over excuses. In the end, solitude, discipline, and consistency don't just change your results, they change you. They make you stronger, sharper, more grounded. They teach you patience, self respect, and purpose. Because once you learn to stay consistent when no one's watching, you become unstoppable when everyone is.
Nah.
That's how greatness is built.
Nah.
That's how legacies are written.
Nah.
And that's how lives are transformed. One disciplined, consistent, silent day at a time.
That's nice. I give you that, dog. That was nice. That was nice. Kill the OU. I want to hit. I want to hit that one. Kill the OU. Kill the OU. Where's the OU? Machine. Kill the OU.
Life going to Life gonna test you in ways you never imagined. People you thought would ride forever might switch lanes on you. Opportunities you thought were guaranteed might disappear overnight. And if your foundation ain't strong, if you don't truly love and respect yourself, you'll crumble under that pressure. See, loving yourself ain't selfish, it's survival, it's strategy. When you love yourself at the highest level, you set the standard for how the world treats you. And today I want to break this down into 5 truths that'll help you learn to love yourself more than anyone else. You gotta know your value. That's the first step. Because the world, if you let it, will put a discipline tag on you. So many of us wake up every day waiting for someone else to validate us, waiting for someone else to tell us we're worthy, that we're talented, that we're enough. And the problem with that is when you waiting on the world to hand you approval, you'll starve or hold the plate in your hands. You'll be left empty because everybody got their own battles, their own insecurities, their own reasons for not lifting you up. You can't depend on that. Think about it. Look around at the people you know. Some of the coldest, most gifted people you've met in your life probably never got recognized for their talents. They might be the best at music, at art, at business ideas, but they never pushed forward because they didn't see their own value. They waited on someone else to clap for them. And the truth is, if you don't clap for yourself first, the world might never start clapping at all. Knowing your value means standing on the fact that you're already born with something priceless inside you. It's like a diamond buried deep in the dirt. Before it's cut, before it shines, it's still a diamond. The dirt don't change its worth. The lack of polish don't change its value. It's valuable from day one. That's you. You don't need outside approval to make you special. You came that way to challenge and believe in it before anyone else did.
Yeah, knowing it, not believing. Believing is doubt. Don't forget, believing is doubt. Believing is doubt.
They'll try to treat you like irreplaceable. They'll take advantage of your time, your love, your loyalty. It's not because you're invaluable, it's because you didn't set the standard. Life respects boundaries. People respect standards. If you don't set your price, don't be surprised if kind of bars you down. Now when you get your general personality when it's steady. And it shows people with high self-worth are happy. Not only that, they attract people. What's good, family? And every one of us got 2 versions living inside. we can be. The biggest fight you'll ever face ain't out there in the world. It's the one between those two. It's easy to stay comfortable, easy to replay the same story, easy to say one day will change. But that one day doesn't ever come on its own. You gotta force it. You gotta demand it. Because growth don't happen by chance, it happens by choice. They don't want to talk about 5 truths that help you outgrow or overgrow you. Not something right now. Uncomfort is the silent killer of potential. It's that soft pillar that whispers you're good right here, but deep down you know you're made for more. Every dream, every goal, every vision that was supposed to take you higher can die right there in the arms of comfort. Because comfort don't ask you to grow. They don't demand anything from you. It just keeps you stuck. Repeating the same cycles, saying the same excuses, living the same path. Comfort is dangerous because it feels good while it's slowly robbing you of your purpose. See, greatness lives on the other side of discomfort. You can't get to your highest level by doing what feels safe. Growth doesn't happen when you're chilling. Growth happens when you're stretched, when you're challenged. When life got you questioning if you can even keep going. It's the gym where your spirit trains. The place where your mind sets your resilience and your hunger all get built. But most people never make it there because they run from the work. They want the reward without the resistance. They want success without the sweat. Look at anybody who made it, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, whoever, their story got pain written all over it. Pain is the
Makes
price
sense.
tag for progress.
Part of you.
When you see
You know
someone
better with.
turn their purpose, don't get fooled by the shine. Understand they
When it makes sense, it's a part of you to work with.
The pressure shapes them.
The
You
truth.
can't skip that part and expect the results. Pressure creates dominance, but you can't be mad at the weight if you're asking to shine. Think about it. An athlete doesn't get stronger by staying comfortable. They push their body past the limits until it matters. They train when nobody's watching. They show up when it hurts, when it rains, when it's cold, when they're tired. That's where greatness is developed. Not in the spotlight, but in the dark, uncomfortable moments. When quitting feels easier than continuing. That's the same energy life asks from you. Entrepreneurs know this too. They don't stay in business by repeating what worked yesterday. The market changes, the world evolves, and if they don't grow with it, they disappear. They have to be uncomfortable enough to reinvent, to learn new skills, to risk failure again and again. They live in a constant state of pressure because they understand the moment they get too comfortable, they start losing. And that same truth applies to you. If you stop growing, you start dying. We all get tested. Life got a way of checking if we're serious about what we say we want. You might ask for success, and life will give you struggle just to see if you can handle it. You might ask for strength, and life will give you pain so you can earn it. That's how the process works. You can't pray for a bigger stage if you're not willing to carry heavier weight. Growth ain't convenient, it's intentional. And when those uncomfortable seasons hit, when things start falling apart, when your plans don't work, when your back's against the wall, that's not punishment, that's preparation. You're being stretched because something inside you needs to expand. You're being tested because there's more in you than you're currently using. But if you keep running back to comfort every time things get hard, you never find out how strong you really are. Discomfort is where you discover your character. It's where you find out if you really mean the things you talk about. Everybody wants success, but not everyone wants the sacrifices that come with it. Everybody wants growth, but not everyone's willing to go through the growing pains. The truth is, your future self is watching you right now, wondering if you'll push through or fold when it gets tough. Because what you do when it's hard determines what you'll have when it's easy. We've been raised to avoid pain, to look for shortcuts, to chase comfort, to take the easy route. But every shortcut you take steals from your destiny. Comfort makes you settle for good enough when greatness was already in your reach. And the worst part, comfort feels right until it's too late. It tricks you into believing you're safe, but really, it's stagnant. You ever notice how people who once had big dreams end up living small lives? It's not because they weren't capable, it's because they stopped pushing. They found a job that paid just enough, a routine that felt secure, a lifestyle that didn't challenge them, and they got stuck there. Their potential didn't die, it just went to sleep inside a comfortable cage. Don't let that be you. People who make real impact are the ones who get comfortable being
What's your
uncomfortable.
fucking word?
They don't let fear stop
What you
them from
fucking with?
moving. They don't let failure make them quit. They use pressure
We
as
can't
fuel.
trust
When
them.
things go wrong, they don't fold, they adapt. They study the lesson, make the adjustment, and come back
Fuck
stronger.
what you say, Mr.
That's the
Officer,
mindset.
man.
Truth
We can
is,
never trust you guys.
sometimes
You guys
discomfort
lie
means
too
making
fucking
better
much.
work.
How
Sometimes it
in the
means
fuck can
cutting
you
off
be
distractions.
trustworthy
Sometimes
if
it
you
means
are a
walking away
liar?
from people who make you align with your vision. Sometimes it means betting on yourself when the odds are against you. And every time you do that, every time you choose growth over comfort, you build power inside you that nobody can take away. See, comfort will give you excuses. Pressure will give you purpose. Comfort tells you you deserve a break. Purpose says keep going, you're almost there. Comfort keeps you thinking small, but purpose keeps you expanding. The real ones understand that comfort and greatness can't live in the same house. You gotta choose one. So when life starts stretching you, don't fight it. When things get hard, don't pray for it to stop. Pray for the strength to handle it. Learn to breathe through it, learn to adapt, learn to stay focused when it feels like everything's testing you. Because those moments are the ones that redefine who you are. The truth is, struggle is just the universe introducing you to the next version of yourself. Every obstacle carries a lesson. Every setback carries strength. Every delay carries development. You just have to stop looking at discomfort as a curse and start seeing it as a calling. The old you can't come with you where you're going. The old mindset, the old habits, the old fears, they all got to stay behind. And the only way to leave them is to walk through the fire of discomfort until they burn off. That's how you elevate. That's how you evolve. When you start understanding that discomfort is part of the process, you stop running from it and start embracing it. You realize every time life challenges you, it's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to refine you. Every challenge, every loss, every sleepless night is molding you into someone stronger, sharper, more focused. So don't let comfort rob you of your greatness. Don't settle for average when excellence is already playing. The climb is steep, the nights get long, and the road will test you, but it's worth it. Because at the end of all that struggle, you'll look in the mirror and see a version of yourself that you fought for, bled for, and earned through every ounce of discomfort. That's the reward, not just the success, but the strength, the wisdom, and the pride that comes from knowing you didn't take the easy routes. You chose to grow. You chose to rise. You chose to become everything the old you was too comfortable to imagine. Comfort is the silent killer of potential. It feels good, it feels safe, it feels familiar, but that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Every dream that ever died, every vision that never made it off the ground, it usually happened because somebody chose comfort over growth. The truth is, you can't reach greatness while you're still holding on to what's easy. Growth doesn't live where it's comfortable, it lives in the tension and the struggle. In those moments when you're stretched so far that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. That's where the next level is waiting in the space just past your limits. We've been conditioned to believe that if we're behind, it means we're doing something right. That if life feels hard, we must be doing something wrong. But that's a lie. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your gym. It's where your spirit lifts weight. Every challenge you face is a workout for your character, your patience, your resilience. It's how you build the strength to handle what's coming. People say they want success, but few are willing to train for it. They want the rewards without the resistance. But just like your body, your spirit won't grow if you don't give it something to push against. Nobody grows in the easy seasons. Think about it. The best lessons you ever learned didn't come from the times when everything was smooth. They came from the times when you were tested. The breakthroughs that changed your life didn't show up when everything was calm. They came through pressure, through loss, through long nights of doubt and frustration. It's the hard seasons that teach you who you are. You might not see it in the moment, but those moments are molding you. Every time life pushes you, it's building muscle you didn't know you had. Pressure creates diamonds, right? But that same pressure can crush you if you don't understand it. That's why mindset matters. Some people see
That's why
pressure as
you can't
pain,
understand shit. You
others
gotta
see pressure
decipher
as
it. You
preparation.
gotta
It's
do
the
research. You
difference,
gotta get to
right?
know it.
The difference between those who ride and those who fall. hiding routines that make them feel safe but keep them stuck. They tell themselves they're waiting for the right time, but what they're really doing is avoiding the pain that comes with growth. Look at the greats, athletes, visionaries, creators. None of them stayed where it was easy. Athletes don't improve by staying in shape. They improve by breaking through barriers, by pushing their bodies past what they thought was possible. That's why they train in the off season, why they wake up before the sun, why they play hurt and still give their best.
I
They understand.
don't really fuck with that understanding, understanding, understanding bullshit. I don't deal with the semantics, all these fucking twisted up words to keep you twisted up and not knowing no shit, real shit. And with that being said, is talk some real good shit, but it's the words that's fucking us up because of what they mean. One, you can't believe shit. You gotta question every fucking thing that don't make sense to you. You can't be under shit, meaning understanding. That's you under someone understanding. Oh, you beating some shit into you that don't make no sense to you. That's understanding. And you can't be having faith or hoping, because all that's some fucking words to keep you from not knowing the truth that's already ready, waiting on you to realize for yourself. This journey that you living on is self-explanatory, because all you need is in you already. Just waiting on you to realize it for yourself. I can't make you. I can remind you, but I can't make you think for yourself. I can't make you tap back in to the source, but that's the need to know in order to go. You need to know the reason why you do any of the things that you do. And the question is, are you really thinking about what you're doing to be responsible? Because in order to be here, you need to know who you are to who these assholes was trying to teach you to be. See, you was taught to believe, you was taught to understand, you was taught to have faith, and you was taught to hope. But naturally, you're supposed to be thinking for your fucking self. And that's thinking 24. And when you're thinking 24/7, you don't have no time to be using them other fucked up ass, dumb ass, stupid ass, fucked up ass words. Because even when you go to sleep, you're supposed to be thinking about what you're going to do when you get your ass up to be conscious, responsible for what you're thinking about before trying to do it. Again, we aren't as stupid and dumb, and we're not liars like they taught us to be. Facts, we're not that. Because again, the only reason why you lie is because you was taught that bullshit. The only reason why you understand is because you was taught that bullshit. The only reason why you have faith is because you was taught that bullshit. And the only reason why you hope is because you was taught that bullshit. Now let me tell you something about thinking for yourself. That's something that's not taught. But if you taught how to think, you'll never know how to think for yourself. I'm just saying. Reality is realizing the reason why you lie in the first place. Because you gotta know the reason why you lie. And I'm trying to give you the reason why you lie. Because the only reason why you lie is you was taught to be a liar. You wasn't taught to be naturally telling the truth. You was taught to be a liar because they needed you to lose. They didn't need you to be your natural order, being who you was taught not to be, because your natural order to being is not something taught to be. Your natural order to being is you was taught to. Your natural order to being is you was born a winner, not taught, born a winner in first place. To not be taught no nonsense, make believe nonsense to stop you from using the common sense that you're born with. That's the twist you up right there. Make believe nonsense. Stop you from using common sense. Common sense that you're born with, which is the truth. So all I can say before I get off here is, if the truth isn't in you or me or every living human being living here, where is the truth at? It got to be in the human being in order for somebody to teach us to be liars.